But Diana, you do that these days. You're not seeing ni chani.
You know I'm a slay queen, Kylie. I have to keep the game on point.
If the laundry is to slay.
In a laundry, I do it rapid. Plus, I need to catch up with Urbi and Samrat on TV.
No wonder you're not seeing. But Diana, things are happening here. These nkungulume zikuseni. Ala imekupolo pempa mazi, kasa funa namba. Ala mwandi, let me shmikila for you. But Diana. Bullet! I'm a have been going at. No wonder I'm not slaying. Naiguila, from tomorrow I'll also be slaying. Vene orumi.
Bullet powder has that one-shot cleaning power that penetrates fabric, removing the toughest of stains. With bullets, you'll be done with your laundry in no time. Bullet washing powder, 0 dirt in 1 shot.
And you will slay.
Life is a journey, beginning with small steps that grow more confident as we expand our view of the world, shaping our futures, laying solid foundations, and fulfilling our dreams as we succeed in life for wealth and security, now and into the future. Let's make success. Atlas Mara, reshaping Africa.
One Zambia, one nation. Good evening. A warm welcome to this broadcast of the main news here on ZNBC TV1. To present the news this hour, my name is Pennipher-Nyirenda, and my sign language interpreter this evening is Obed Mambwe. We take you straight to the headlines. Minister of Justice Sikainda-Nyirenda says government will not leave anyone behind when refining the constitution and other electoral laws. Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, EFZ Executive Director Pukuta Mwanza says the church should be allowed to anchor the national dialogue process and not outsiders. Patriotic Front PF Secretary General Davis Mwila has urged party members to elect people who will organize and grow the party ahead of the internal elections at structure level. Making headlines in sports, the Zambia women national football team will meet Zimbabwe in the final round of the Ghana 2018 AFCON qualifiers. Thank you so much for joining us. And now the news in detail. Minister of Justice Sikainda-Nyirenda says government will not leave anyone behind when refining the constitution and other electoral laws. Mr. Nyirenda says the process to enact the political party bill and other legislation is already in motion. He says government will also reform the Public Order Act following complaints from some stakeholders. He says the process was initiated by government even before the Commonwealth dialogue process and will continue. Mr. Nyirenda said this during the PF Interactive Forum in Lusaka today.
In case they argue that we failed, then why the Commonwealth? Why not the SADC? Why not the SADC? We're a member of the SADC, so we can go to the SADC and ask the SADC to come and facilitate our talks because we failed. If the SADC has failed, then we escalate it higher. I don't think you go to a peripheral organization before you start with your local one. This is the reason why we believe strongly that we should do it ourselves. And as we do this, we don't stop any person or any organization from coming to render their support. The political parties bill, we did something that is unconventional. It has never been done before. Never. This time, I broke with the practice, in keeping with the spirit of not leaving anyone behind on matters of such importance.
Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, EFZ Executive Director Pukuta Mwanza says the church should be allowed to anchor the national dialogue process and not outsiders. Reverend Mwanza says the church has in the past years been involved in the affairs of the country and is able to facilitate national dialogue. He noted that the church was also involved in the pre-election discussions to bring about peace and resolve the challenges involving political parties in the country. He said the church is the best avenue to resolve what is currently happening on the political scene. Reverend Mwanza said this in an interview with ZNBC News in Lusaka today.
The church has actively been involved right now in terms of meeting and figuring out what is the best way to deal with this matter. It was not right to consider an outside intervention in this matter because it's not a high-profile crisis that one would say the country is on fire and therefore outsiders come and help us. We need to give room to the local actors to deal with this matter, particularly the church.
Outgoing Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Ndola and now Archbishop-elect of Lusaka, Alik Banda, has called on Christians to turn to God in any situation they face. Bishop Banda says Christians should not question God, but instead ask what they should do for God and others. Zanis reports that Bishop Banda was speaking at the Cathedral of Christ, the King in Ndola, in his farewell mass before he takes up his new position as the Metropolitan Archbishop of Lusaka.
After 8 years of service, Bishop Alik Banda has bade farewell to the place he has called home, the Catholic Diocese of Ndola. Bishop Banda has been appointed as the new Archbishop of Lusaka, and now he has held his farewell mass at the Cathedral of Christ the King in Ndola, and parishioners came in numbers to say goodbye. In his homily, Bishop Banda encouraged Christians not to complain about situations that they find themselves in, but instead look to God.
Life through the eyes of faith. Whatever happens, my dear brothers and sisters in Christ, be it good, be it bad, it happens for a purpose. It will be up to each and every one of us to give it meaning. If you want, you can call it a blessing. If you want, you can call it a curse. That is why the question should not be why. The question should be what. What is it that you want me to learn from this? It's not about why has this happened? Why me and not the other one? If that is the route that you're going to take, you suffer from blood pressure.
Ankopa Belt Province Minister Jafen Mwakalombe, who attended the Mass, praised the Catholic Church for its contribution to the dialogue process in the country.
Today we are talking about the issue of dialogue, and from the efforts that we have seen from the Zambia Catholic of Bishops intervention in the past, I believe, and government believes, that the dialogue is not a process that is going to only take an event. The dialogue is an ongoing process, and I believe that the country has been playing a major role in bringing the people of Zambia together, and therefore as government will still rely on your abilities, the grace that has been bestowed over you by God, that we can continue preaching the dialogue which the Catholic Church has been preaching.
Mr. Mwakalombe also commended the Catholic Church for the social services that they offer to people in such sectors as health and education. Bishop Banda will be installed as Archbishop of Lusaka this Saturday, 14th April 2018. Tisa Nkoma reporting in Ndola.
The Nsenga Culture Association says those that are questioning President Edgar Lungu's nationality do not mean well for the country. Association chairperson Stephen Mwale says such schemes are from opposition leaders who cannot survive without promoting division through hate speech. Mr. Mwale says it is common knowledge that the president is from Petauke in Eastern Province. Speaking during a press briefing in Lusaka today, Mr. Mwale adds that the debate on the president's nationality is unproductive and that Zambians should ignore such sentiments. And speaking at the same function, Evangelical Alliance International pastor Moses Lungu has cautioned people against being used by politicians to divide the country.
If anyone has got another place which they are claiming that the president comes from there, I challenge that person, be it a politician or otherwise, to come forward so that we take that person to the location that I've just explained. He should not be scared because I've already stated we won't take him anywhere else but just this place that I've mentioned. That's where the president comes from. It's extremely unfortunate that when people run out of ideas, they start coming up with all sorts of lies and label others. That kind of politics should be a thing of the past.
I want to be very categorical and political as a concern in saying that the politics that Mr. Mlongoti is perpetuating can be very dangerous to disunite the country that has been united over 5 decades or 50 years.
The National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPEZ, says the debate on President Edgar Lungu's nationality must be a closed chapter. Cobalt NUPEZ Secretary Evans Chisenga says the topic on President Lungu's nationality is becoming unproductive. Mr. Chisenga said this in a walk-in interview with ZNBC News in Kitwe today. Meanwhile, Mr. Chisenga has challenged teachers across the country to teach pupils in schools the motto of One Zambia, One Nation.
That the issue of nationality of our Republican President Edgar Lungu, I think this debate should come to an end. It's a well-known fact that the president has stood for elections twice and he has won those elections, meaning he's a Zambian. I think let's promote something else rather than the issue of nationality, which is a discouragement to the Zambian citizens who voted for the Republican president. Also, at the same time, let me take this opportunity that as teachers we are busy teaching the children the motto of One Zambia, One Nation and its importance. But politicians, both from the ruling and the opposition, they are busy preaching the issue of tribalism. This issue should come to an end. We are one. We should work together.
That was Evans Chisenga, the Cobalt NUPEZ secretary from the Union on Public and Private Educators of Zambia. In more news, Patriotic Front PF Secretary General Davis Miller has urged party members to elect people who will organize and grow the party ahead of the internal elections at structure level. Mr. Miller says the internal elections that will be held in the party structures are meant to strengthen and protect the party. The PF Secretary General has further urged the candidates in the internal polls to desist from using youths and corruption to win leadership positions. And Minister of Justice Sikainda-Nyirenda says the internal elections to be held are a clear demonstration of the party's commitment to democracy. At the same function, Minister of Lands Jean Kapata said there is need to put a stop to the abuse of social media.
The party decided that we hold the elections in Lusaka province, in all the structures. These structures that we are talking about is from the section up to the province. These elections, they are not intended to remove people from their positions, but to protect the party and strengthen the party.
What that must do to us as members of the PF, first is to give us pips on our shoulders. We must be proud that we belong to a highly democratic party. We believe in internal democracy. I have said time and again that we who belong to political parties belong to them because we aspire to provide national leadership.
In this country, we have social media, which is insulting leaders day in, day out. We must say no to such social media. We have already people that are campaigning on social media and calling for certain names like chairman for Lusaka province, youth chairman for Lusaka province. What? In Patriotic Front Party, we have a system. It's not you just don't stand and coming from nowhere and you say you want to stand in a certain position.
Time now for our first break. We have more news coming up. Do stay with us.
Difficult kwasira waenda. It's over. Wachuka kuchimbuzi kuja barefoot. Kubwera yapa kasi isimani yako shua. Nikuona yapa no samba na kumanja. Uyamba chape kuitema simu. Uchoke yapa na kuona na mango. No suka mango wayamba kuta.
Yes.
Kaya matenda yako leo yesi. Nikamba matenda yako leo usi wakuti ya ambazo.
Namverap.
Kaya difficult. Kaya manzi yomwe ukuma ayo. Niyo bwatusa ni chlorinated olokapena ni mineral water ijaya kasiubu na kweli.
Nikisini hapa pa chiwaelo pa mgodi. Ndio ametimamu azaka na maezi.
Difficulty. Aya matenda yako lera libe chibwenzi. Ndaba nisakuname ine ni usi na mineral water ijaya na kasiu. Olongatisi hapo chlorinated water olo safe clean water. Kwa siri. Yo mwefunika kusamba kumanja.
Iwe ine na question mozo. Kaya kulomwa fako na kolera.
Ati
kuliwa mina faka
bamene bafani bambiri mwati mbaberenga nyuzi mu ati unabere waberenga po nyuzi lero ni bambiri bamwalira kaya hapo umvera sumbera ko vili vonse mara ni kama kulibe famina umverako
envera du
ni amene zaona
This message is brought to you as a joint effort by Ministry of Health and Trade Kings Foundation. Trade Kings, improving lives.
Fellow citizens, God has blessed our mother country, Zambia, with an important gift, children. Our children will determine where Zambia will be in the next 10 to 20 years. Therefore, we the adults have the mandate to ensure that our children live a life that will Allow them to explore their full potential. Do not allow a girl child to become a child bride. And do not allow a boy child to become a child groom. So today, make a decision to support that girl child, that boy child in the rural area, or indeed in the urban area, to get their education. Remember, it is you and me to end child marriage in Zambia.
You and I can end child marriages in Zambia. Oh, na 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 na.
Experience the convenience of cashless transactions anytime, anywhere at your fingertips. Pay your bills or send and receive money with Zamtel Kwacha. Walk into any Zamtel store to register and dial *344# to start enjoying the service. Now that's Zamtelligent.
Zamtel, live life today.
Beer. What? Kitchen. Do it.
Just one drop of Boom Sparkle Plus with Triple Power formula takes care of everything. One bottle of Boom Sparkle Plus will shine 1,000 dishes. Enriched with lemon and aloe vera. Now that's 1,000 reasons to choose Boom Sparkle Plus. Trade Kings, improving lives.
Thank you for staying with us. We continue with the news. Government is ready to work with the church, including the Seventh-day Adventist, in matters concerning national development. Speaking when he attended the Nalata Day Adventist Church Dedication Program in Nampundo, Shibuyunji District today, Central Province Minister Sidney Mushanga said government recognizes and appreciates the role churches play in national development. And speaking at the same event, Lusaka Province Seventh-day Adventist Conference President Dr. Edwin Shimujila encouraged members of the church to continue preaching love, peace and unity in the country. Meanwhile, speaking when he toured the 40 houses, police station and district administration projects that are still under construction in Shibuyunji District, Mr. Mushanga was saddened to learn that the contractor has abandoned the works.
The government, PF government, will continue to carry and view the SDA church with respect. Will continue to listen to the church's advice to government. Will not only listen to the advice, but will put that advice to good use. The President is very much ready to work with this church. All the leaders we are following in the footsteps of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia.
So the church, we believe in those kind of activities. We shall be able to live in unity as we dedicate this house to the Lord. The people out there need to see who we are, what we believe in. Rosie is here, Tonga is here, Wewila is here, Luvale is here, members here. How pleasant it is in this house you are dedicating to God to dwell in unity. Shall please our God in that way.
Senior Chief Kalilele of the Lamba people in Mushindamo district has condemned people who are not appreciating the visible developments government is undertaking. The traditional leader says it is a pity that some people continue to pretend not to acknowledge government's progressive programs, which are there for everyone to see. The senior chief commended government for honoring the promises of constructing the Solwezi-Chingola Road and embarking on construction of chiefs' palaces. Senior Chief Kalilele said this when Northwestern Province Minister Nathaniel Mawukwanu paid a courtesy call at his palace. And Mr. Mawukwanu has implored traditional leaders and the people of Northwestern Province to support government because President Edgar Lungu has the province at heart. The minister also expressed gratitude at the good workmanship exhibited by WKP Enterprises, a local Solwezi company contracted to build Senior Chief Kalilele's palace. And WKP Enterprises proprietor William Kafupi assured the minister that the remaining 20% of the works on the palace will be completed and the palace will be handed over to government by June this year. The Mbundas of Mushua area in Mulunga district of Western Province have finally been given a chief by the Litunga Lugosi Imwiko II. This is after the High Court threw out a court injunction by the former chief Josiah Nyumbu, who challenged his removal from the throne 3 years ago. The installation ceremony of Chief Nyumbu Kashengula, which was held at the palace yesterday, was preceded by traditional dances and songs. And speaking to Zanis shortly after the coronation ceremony, Induna Imandi called on all chiefs to be loyal to the Litunga.
The historical background of our traditional leadership here is different from many other traditional leaderships elsewhere, because ours is highly central. Central in the sense that it stems from one center. The center who is His Majesty, the Litunga himself, who is at the apex of the whole structure, the Dunas. Even these are also directly answerable to the Litunga. It is the Litunga that installs them. It's the Litunga that actually dethrones them when they go wrong.
Mansa Central Member of Parliament Chitalo Chilufya says government values the involvement of non-governmental organizations in the development agenda of the country. Speaking during the launch of the partnership between government and AIDS Healthcare Foundation to support Mansa Central Clinic, Dr. Chilufya said such partnerships will ease the burden on government in the provision of quality health services. Patrick Mlenga gives us more details on this story.
The provision of quality health services to the people across the country is government's priority number one in the 7th National Development Plan. To this effect, government has been implementing a number of programs that are aimed at improving the health service care delivery, especially in rural areas. And due to the conducive political climate and government's commitment to improving the health sector in the country, stakeholders have come forth to complement its efforts. AIDS Healthcare, AHF, a non-profitable and self-sponsored foundation, has today partnered with government to support Mansa Central Clinic in various ways. And Mansa Central Member of Parliament Dr. Chitalo Chilufya is overwhelmed by the gesture.
AIDS Healthcare Foundation that is now moving from the Copperbelt to Santa Northwestern and Southern Province and now coming into Wapuna. I would like to assure you that we will not stop at Mansa Central Clinic. It will only be a beginning. And like I said, with proper ownership, the partnership shall be nurtured more meaningfully. And we believe that this support will extend to many more facilities and lives will be saved through this critical partnership. I am excited and I started as a member of parliament of Mansa Central and Bahati to have this launch within Mansa Central.
Dr. Chilufya, who is also Minister of Health, thanked AHF for the work it is doing not only in Mansa but the country as a whole.
As Minister of Health, I am happy to receive support from the Excellent Care Foundation and make sure that is passed on to the provincial leadership and ensure that the partnership is on at that level. So, Honourable Minister, I really thank you for making that application. That is very important.
And Wapla Province Minister Nixon Chilangwa, who was the guest of honor, reaffirmed government's willingness to working with cooperating partners to better the lives of Zambians.
The government of His Excellency Mr. Edgar, the President of the Republic of Zambia, appreciates the role of AHF in the provision of quality healthcare services to the people of Zambia. The mission of the Ministry of Health is to provide equitable access to cost-effective quality health services as close to the family as possible by spreading itself to 26 health facilities in 13 districts. The AHF is helping the Ministry of Health take health as close to the needy as possible.
Earlier, AHF Country Director Dr. Mavuto Kongo pledged the Foundation's commitment to partner with government in the health sector for the improvement of the health care delivery in the country.
The AHF is helping the Ministry of Health to take health as close as possible to the needy, and also this is contributing to our 2020 objective.
The foundation also donated different items to the clinic, and Dr. Chilufya later toured the health facility to appreciate the challenges the health workers are going through. Patrick Mulenga, ZNBC News, Mansa.
That story takes us to our second break. Join us shortly for more news.
How's traffic this side? Traffic is very bad. Just use Greatest Road. I just used Church Road. Guy to avoid, because of time. Nitamange ndiye muri pension. Pension ingarem taxi. Pension ni kunapsa. Napsa ni abaja bamene basebenza mu office. Not monga is a taxi driver. Every taxi driver is required to be registered with NAPSA. Oho! Yawa meyokanshi. Ndiye muri future muja. Gajmange. Twalabonana.
Manda! Shoti bagamba na chuma lero bagamba.
I hope now balance cash ni pedere roga.
Mugamba nayo nali shota pozona. Shota bagamba soke bagamba.
Uze vitala ndiye pusha fina yo chikoma chako lero kanje.
I hope na mwasunga na musunga pona apsa bagamba.
Na pusa mini bus driver.
Awe. Bagamba is a requirement for every taxi driver and bus driver to pay na apsa bagamba. Tama ikateyo.
But futi muri sense futi. Wamaka
It is a law for all bus drivers and taxi drivers to register for NAPSA. Visit your nearest NAPSA branch for more information. NAPSA, guaranteed social security.
NAPSA.
Life is a journey, beginning with small steps that grow more confident as we expand our view of the world, shaping our futures, laying solid foundations, and fulfilling our dreams as we succeed in life for wealth and security, now and into the future. Let's make success. Atlas Mara, reshaping African banking.
Tiende pamoja ndi mtima umo.
Tianjane ndi banja limodzi. Atwenda ntomwe amoyo omwe.
Tianiponga tuzenge insi.
Zambia,
the promised land. We'll together achieve our dreams.
Zambia, the promised land. If we believe, we can all achieve. Nahayaluna ifuyozi.
Nangu tupusane mitundu twabanga banga ndaimo.
Wira zanja langati yanjane limo iwendine zikola wafulu.
Zambia, the promised land. We'll together achieve our dreams.
Zambia, the promised land. If we believe, we can all achieve.
Zambia, the promised land. We'll together achieve our dreams. Zambia, the promised land.
In more news, the construction of the $2.2 million United States first ever shopping mall in Mufulira on the Car Belt has kicked off. Yenga Tech, a local-based company, is constructing the multi-million-dollar project. We have more in this report.
They are busy like bees on a beehive. These are employees who are constructing this multi-million-dollar shopping mall. This will be the first of its kind in the mining town of Mufulira on the Copper Belt. $2.2 million United States will be spent here. Yenga Tech, a local-based company, is developing the multi-million-dollar investment. Mufulira Mayor Gift Mushinge has just visited the construction site.
Amongst the Copper Belt towns, Mufulira is the only district that does not have a shopping mall. And this is the first ever kind of project that we are witnessing in the district. So it's quite exciting, and it's bringing development to the town. This is what we've been longing for in a long time. We've had people travel from here to get into Kitwe just to go and have a bit of shopping from game stores, pick and pay, and the like. But now everything has been brought to the doorstep.
Leonard Chikuni is Yenga Tech site engineer.
The substructure we should be able to complete within 2 weeks, and then we shall move on to the structural steel, which we shall complete within 2 months. So you'll have the roof and everything, and then we shall start the internal finishings. Ultimately, we want the project to be completed by the end of October. Everything will be functioning and running.
So far, the firm has employed 100 unskilled and 40 skilled workers. Mshota Mpundu, ZNBC News in Mufulira.
Competition and Consumer Protection Commission CCPC has urged firms seeking to invest in Zambia to familiarize themselves with the country's competition and consumer protection law. CCPC Director Legal and Corporate Affairs Maureen Mwanza says her commission has noted with gratitude the number of investors coming from India and Asia in general. We have more on this story in this report.
Missions abroad are working hard to woo investors to Zambia. For India, Zambia High Commission in New Delhi has recorded a rise in the number of firms interested in investing in Zambia. And as much as Zambia needs investment, investors need to understand the laws of the country. It has been observed that uncompetitive behavior through cartels, monopolies, mergers, takeovers and acquisitions need to be checked thoroughly, as they might injure the economy and consumers. Competition and Consumer Protection Commission CCPC has since gone flat out, sensitizing the investors and the media to familiarize themselves with the country's competition and consumer protection law. This came to light in New Delhi, India, during the 2018 International Conference on Competition Law attended by Zambia's High Commissioner to India, Judith Kapijimpanga, among other dignitaries. CCPC Director Legal and Corporate Affairs Maureen Mwanza says her commission has noted with gratitude the number of investors coming from India and Asia in general, adding that CCPC stands ready to guide them, especially on cartels, mergers, acquisitions and takeovers in the spirit of maintaining a competitive business environment. Mrs. Mwanza further says CCPC has a healthy working relationship with the judiciary in Zambia, as observed by landmark judgments that have excited the legal minds worldwide.
In addition to that, we have a biannual press briefing where we give updates to the media on what the agency has done over a period of 6 months. And then we also conduct what we call compliance programs for various businesses, where they are free to call on us to give them training for free on how they are to set up compliance programs so that they're not found on the wrong side of the law.
Meanwhile, CCPC senior investigator on mergers and monopolies Kondo and Kaonga says the commission has initiated a lenience program for cartels, among others.
Cartels under our law are civil and criminal in nature. So we were having a challenge with regards to how to deal with the criminal aspect, because when a party does apply for lenience, there's a civil, there is an administrative penalty that can be imposed by the agency, but how to deal with the criminal offense is what we were having challenges dealing with. And as of 2015, we had our Director of Public Prosecution coming on board, which made it easier, because then if a party applies for lenience, there is room as well to be exempted from the criminal proceedings.
The media in Zambia has been praised for highlighting the importance of competition and consumer protection in an economy. Bangwenavile, New Delhi, India.
Time now for our last break. Stay tuned for sports news still to come.
Hey, princess. Looks like you left around 8 there. Isn't it supposed to say happy?
Dad, I know how to spell. This is my happy apple drink. Hello?
Hey, but look, the bottle is empty.
That's because happy apple never stays in the bottle. Let me show you. To the fridge, please.
Okay, here we go.
See, Daddy, happy apple is made from happy apple.
Let's find out.
See, I told you so. It never stays in the bottle.
Introducing the world of Happy Apple carbonated soft drinks with real apple juice. Happy Apple, made from happy apples.
Trade Kings, improving lives.
Agritech, Zambia's leading agriculture outdoor expo, will take place from 12th to 14th April 2018 in Chisamba. ZNBC, your national broadcaster, will be there to give you maximum stand coverage and exposure at very attractive sponsorship rates. What are you waiting for? Grab that phone and call our sales and marketing team on 252-005.
When you have the will, the sky is the limit. When others give up, I give more. I have been assigned this mountain to show others it can be moved. I found the way. I built the way, and I led the way. Run, jump, fight like never before. I run, I jump, fight like there is no tomorrow. And tomorrow, I will get up and do it all over again. I'm the winner, and my will is to win. And this is my push to reach the sky. Wildcat, untamed energy. Hervé Rona.
Trade Kings, improving lives.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And now in sports news, the Zambia women national football team will meet Zimbabwe in the final round of the Ghana 2018 AFCON qualifiers. This is after the Chipolopolo drew 1-1 with their Tanzanian counterparts at Nkoloma Stadium to end the two legs 4-4 after a 3-3 draw in the first leg played in Tanzania a week ago. The away goal rule has favoured Zambia, and they will now face their neighbours Zimbabwe in the battle of the Zambezi. Zambia scored as early as the first minute when striker Rachel Kundanji put the team up with an early strike. But in the 72nd minute, Tanzania restored parity through Mwanahami Omar, who netted a header, and Chansa Kunda, who covered the match at Nkoloma Stadium, reports that Zambia coach Albert Kachinga expressed happiness that his side made it to the next round of the competition. Meanwhile, Tanzania assistant coach Edna Lema says her squad has learned something from the fixture against Zambia that she says will work to the advantage of his side in future. And the Football Association of Zambia, outgoing General Secretary Ponga Liwewe, says the progression of the Chipolopolo to the next round is good.
Thank you so much. I think it was not easy for us. Having played to a 3-0 draw in Tanzania, we knew we had a fighting chance, but we just had to make sure that we prepare adequately. We knew the Kenyan girls would come all guns blazing, which they did, especially in the second half. I think we played well, considering that we had a few knocks in the team. So I'm pleased and happy with the way the girls played.
As a coach, we're pleased for our performance of our player, because we are away and now we are out for away goals. So we have to look forward, and it was a tough game for the both team. But I want to congratulate Zambia because they are going for the next round. And thank you for the fans who came to support us. But it was not our chance, so we have to go and look forward.
And in the FAS MTN Super League Week 5, defending champions Zesco United has won the bragging rights of the Cowbell Derby against Nkana after the Ndola side silenced the noisy Nkana fans in their own backyard. A 65th minute cracker by Jackson Jesse Ware was enough for the Electricity Boys to load shed the entire Wisakili Township in Kitwe and collect maximum 3 points. Elsewhere, New Monza Swallows were taught a footballing lesson as they were hammered 5-1 by Lusaka Dynamos, while National Assembly and Lumwana Radiant settled for a barren draw, with Nkwazi and Kawe Youth Soccer Academy drawing 1-1. Well, those sports stories bring us to the end of the news, and just before we leave you, we take another look at the headlines. Minister of Justice Sikainda-Nyirenda says government will not leave anyone behind when refining the constitution and other electoral laws. Mr. Nyirenda says the process to enact the political party bill and other legislation is already in motion. Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, EFZ Executive Director Pukuta Mwanza says the church should be allowed to anchor the national dialogue process and not outsiders. Reverend Mwanza says the church has in the past years been involved in the affairs of the country and is able to facilitate national dialogue. Patriotic Front PF Secretary General Davis Miller has urged party members to elect people who will organize and grow the party ahead of the internal elections at structure level. Mr. Miller says the internal elections that will be held in the party structures are meant to strengthen and protect the party. Finally, in sports, the Zambia women national football team will meet Zimbabwe in the final round of the Ghana 2018 AFCON qualifiers. This is after the Chipolopolo drew 1-1 with their Tanzanian counterparts at Nkoloma Stadium to end the two-leg 4-4 after a 3-3 draw in the first leg played in Tanzania a week ago. Well, that's the news this hour. Thank you so much for your company. On behalf of Obed Mambwe and the entire crew on duty, this is Pennipher saying goodbye and God bless you.
Stella Crown College of Nursing and Health Sciences invites applicants both pre-service and in-service to enroll for our July 2018 intake in the following program. Diploma in General Nursing. Applicants must have a minimum of 5 credits or better in mathematics, English and biology, and any other 2 subjects.